In a 2-year period, my newsletter has grown 7x. And over the last 2 months, it's close to $15,000 in revenue that this flywheel alone has generated. My name is Jay Clouse. I'm the founder of Creator Science, and this is how I use ConvertKit. A flywheel is this process or phenomenon where every successive effort of doing a thing gets easier over time. It's something that might take a while to get turning. It might be hard in the beginning, but it just gets easier and easier and spins faster and faster over time. So it's actually designed not only to keep it going, but to actually increase over time as well. I think it was Einstein that said, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. And in the beginning, growth feels very slow, it feels very linear, and it doesn't feel as exciting or impactful on an absolute basis. But as the business grows, the compounding that was always there becomes much more obvious. Compounding looks like your audience is growing at a much faster rate. Your revenue is growing at a much faster rate. And as those things happen, your impact can be much greater if your reach is larger, even if you have the same amount of input, the time you're putting into this thing. For example, if I put in 5 hours to write my newsletter and that goes out to 10,000 email subscribers, I'm still putting in 5 hours to write an email if it goes out to 50,000 email subscribers. The difference is with 50,000 email subscribers, if 1% of those people are sharing it, that's a significant difference than it would be in 10,000. One of the challenges that I see a lot of creators have with designing flywheels is they put so much pressure and so much expectation on each individual one. They want one flywheel to grow their audience and generate revenue and generate social proof, and that's not practical for most flywheels. For most flywheels, you want to design a specific singular goal, and if you have multiple goals, design multiple flywheels. One of the best flywheels that I have in my business is around my audience growth and my writing. Every week I sit down and I write a usually long form essay, and that is something that's going to help someone become a professional creator. When I do that, then I go to social media and say, hey, this weekend my newsletter talks about this. Here's where you can sign up if you don't already get my newsletter. That turns into people subscribing. Once they subscribe, they get opted into an email sequence in ConvertKit that says, hey, what's going on in your world right now that led you to sign up for this? And then there's actually a second email that says, if I were to dedicate one issue of my newsletter to an issue you were specifically facing, what would that be? And the answers to those questions give me an idea to write the next essay. And so I write the essay, then I put it out on social media. This is what the essay is about. People subscribe, people answer the question, and now I have more ideas for my essays to come. So writing gets easier and easier the more people subscribe to the newsletter. And the more people subscribe to the newsletter, the more ideas I get, the more I can write, the more compelling that post on social media is to get people to subscribe. So it just gets faster and faster. I have more ideas to choose from all the time. And so more ideas means that I can pick the best ones, which makes it more interesting to subscribe to. And you see where I'm going. In January of 2022, I had about 7,500 subscribers. And right now I'm sitting just shy of 50,000, so about 2 years later. And during that same period of time is when I've been thinking about this flywheel. So in that 2-year period, the account has grown 7x, and I can't say the exact amount of that is due to this specific flywheel, but it's been an integral part and probably the largest driving factor in that time. So the flywheel that generates the most digital product revenue in my business right now happens when somebody subscribes to my email list, no matter where they're coming from. They get opted into a ConvertKit sequence. And in that first email, it asks a question. It says, if I were to dedicate the next issue of my newsletter to an issue you are facing, what would it be? But it also has a little PS line below that. And the PS line says, hey, I don't know much about your business yet. Can you answer a couple of questions? And through a form, they answer a couple of questions that get synced with their ConvertKit account. And based on that, I make them a personalized offer of one of my products. And oftentimes it's something like my newsletter masterclass. They go to the sales page. There's a ton of testimonials, which makes it, I think, more compelling to purchase. Some number of customers purchase that course, they go through it, it prompts them to leave a testimonial, it further makes that page more compelling. A lot of those people who go through that course then will tweet about it, they'll put it on LinkedIn, they'll write about it. And so the next time someone signs up, they go through the flow, they get offered the newsletter masterclass, they go to the page, there's even more testimonials. So every new subscriber that comes in makes that offer more compelling, more people hear about it, more subscribers come in, and that's how revenue happens. This revenue flywheel is pretty new to me. It's something that's only a couple months old, but I'm really excited about it because last month it led to my highest month ever in digital product sales where I didn't have some other dedicated launch. And over the last 2 months, it's close to $15,000 in revenue that this flywheel alone has generated. And as a creator, you know that revenue is really the lifeblood of your business. So not only has it done incredible things for my lifestyle, but it's done incredible things for the business itself too. I am now a W-2 employee of my own company. My wife is becoming a W-2 employee of the company. And we not only pay ourselves a salary because of efforts like this, but a lot of money stays in the business as well and gets invested into future projects. For the last couple of years, we have started running a YouTube channel. In the beginning, that YouTube channel wasn't creating any direct revenue itself, so it was a big investment to hire an editor, hire a thumbnail designer, and having this type of cash flow from this revenue is really the only way I can afford to hire people like that. And so putting a great flywheel in place that increases revenue and increases audience growth, that is how I can reach the vision that I have for what I'm trying to do.